Hello, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign especially. The month of February 2022 is going to open up some gateways for financial earnings opportunities or the chance to buy or sell a property or a possession that'll bring you some great gains, as well as a super love up from Venus. When it comes to things to do with your relationships to your extended family or the chance to travel and have some incredible, powerful, exciting joy in the act of getting away from it all. All right, let's talk about the month ahead. And let's remember, if you're new to my channel, I am a whole sign house Western tropical astrologer, and my name is Lori Lothian. I am also into asteroids and the stars, and I do a lot of that in my main videos. If you are new here, would you hit my like button if you like this video? And would you subscribe? It really helps the channel grow. And I'm really growing fast right now, and I'd love to keep on growing. It helps make me excited about being an astrologer in 2023. And I have a lot going on in my description box. If you want to study with me, Sky Reader, Be Your Own Astrologer, Time Your Best Life has a wait list. You can get on it. You'll get early bird discounts. It starts in March. It's 8 weeks long. It's a live course with me. Also, if you want to learn to if you want to get private content from me on Patreon, all the stuff you get on YouTube is always at my Patreon community days or weeks early with ad-free content, as well as discount codes for readings with me and classes with me that you get by being in my Patreon community. And lastly, you for $5 a month. And then also you get, if you join my Cosmic Moonshine Weekly Forecast newsletter and sign up for that newsletter that comes out every Saturday, you're going to find that you're going to get my code for 20% off any reading with me that you can use anytime, one-time use. Now, that code is useful, but I have to tell you, I'm booked out until April. Sorry, it seems like I'm very much in demand these days. All right, let's get rolling and talk about your sky, Capricorn. First of all, you don't know the big news is Pluto's leaving, Capricorn, right? And you're going to feel that shift March the 7th as he gets into the second house and gives you a bit of relief. So that's a big story for you. And we're going to do that in the month of March when we talk about the all signs. But I just want you to be ready for that exciting breath of fresh air. Whereas this month of February, as you preamble towards the freedom in March, you're going to experience a few good blessings, to say the least. Mercury will spend some time in your second house of earnings, and that's going to help you be able to buy and sell or market and merchandise and up-level your finances in some significant way regarding those areas of purchasing or selling properties or sometimes Mercury in your second house will give you a chance to divest of possessions because you're busy selling them. And so this is going to start out February the 11th to March the 2nd. And so you can also negotiate a greater salary or greater wage or an earning structure difference in your life if you're employed during the Mercury transit, again, February 11th to March the 2nd. Before that, he's in the house of you, and he was there since December 6th in Capricorn. And so from December 6th until February 11th, he's helping you make up your mind about things and make decisions and get clear-minded about what it is you're wanting to do in your life. And this is not going to be here after the 11th of February. You've kind of figured it out. So keep that in mind. In fact, he finishes pretty strong in your first house by touching down with Pluto at 29 degrees around the 10th of the month of February. This could be a time of real powerful decision making and decisiveness about something you want to do, but you're just having to think it through for quite a long time. And then around the 10th of February, you figured out what you want and you're going to make those decisions, and you're going to be very empowered by your choices at that time. I do think that with a planet who's as benefic as Venus, bringing luck, moving through your third house for much of the month, January 26th to February 20th, there's going to be a lot of good things occurring in your life to do with journeys and trips and travel. You can also look at this as an opportune time to connect to siblings and aunts, uncles, cousins, and bring joy and harmony and goodness into those relationships. And you may even find that if you want to learn something that's a skill that you can harness in your life, skills-based education, that you're having a blast and you're really enjoying the learning. And if you're looking for romance because you're single, it's romance in your neighborhood, or Tinder and Hinge and Meet Mindful and whatever's still out there. Those are all third house, Plenty of Fish, third house online dating apps. So when Venus is going through the third house, you could definitely be doing some online dating for a single Capricorn sun, moon, but especially rising sign. And Venus here is moving in a kind of way where she's like every year bumping into Neptune, and she's been bumping into Neptune here since 2011. It certainly opens up a glow up for you on Valentine's Day. where she meets with Neptune, and this could be a really beautiful dinner out, romantic evening in the neighborhood at a local restaurant or bar or event or something like that. For single Capricorns, this is where you meet somebody because of you go out for some event on Valentine's Day, give or take a day or two on either side. This is also great for travel with siblings or to visit siblings and have a dreamy outcome as well, all through the month really, but until the 20th. But some super love from Venus here coming up in the Valentine's Day window of time. And I feel like if you are somebody who has an online presence like I do, Venus can help make you more popular and appealing and seductive and persuasive in whatever ways you're showing up in the online social media platforms and world. So keep that in mind. She exalts your 10th house of reputation, especially for you. So this can be an up level in your online success for any Capricorns who do an online business or presence as a part or an extension of their livelihood. With Jupiter in your 4th house, where he has been since December 20th and will be to mid-May, you're getting some luck and opportunities to happen to do with inheritances and legacy money for some of you, but also with property and real estate and home and land. Okay, so this is a lucky transit. It's been going on now since December 20th until mid-May. And during this month, when Jupiter's moving through this part of your sky, there's a window of time where Mercury, the marketer, mercantile guy, around the 16th to the 18th of the month, he forms a sextile from the house of money. It could be an ideal time for some Capricorns to purchase or sell a home. Okay, just so you know. So that looks like really auspicious window for you, and that Mercury action with Jupiter, the god of luck, is happening around the 15th to the 19th, really. Buy, sell, home, property, land, real estate. Or you could expand your home and have a money situation that allows you to like add an addition or expand the home in some way. When Jupiter goes to the 4th house, it can open up an expansion of the family. So, maybe somebody in your family is going to have a child, and there's going to be more people in the family. And that's possible with Uranus in the house of pregnancy. It could be you, getting pregnant, or your partner unexpectedly, or your children. Yeah, either one could happen. Jupiter in this part of your sky during the month of February, he's not moving that far. He's really only moving between the 5 and I look at my notes, the 5th and the 12th degree of the sign of Aries. So if you're a Capricorn sun, moon, and rising is between 3 to 14 to 15 degrees, then you're having a lot of luck to do with the things to do with your property, inheritance money, land, real estate, expansion of the home, literally, or the members of the home. Sometimes Jupiter here means you have a bigger home. Sometimes it means more people come to visit you in your home, or your home is a source of joy and learning and opportunity. So it's a very positive energy. And again, it does sometimes indicate a bequeathment inheritance possibility as well during his time here. But in February, he's like really loved up with Mercury, and I do like that 3rd week kind of thing, 16th to the 19th, as a chance to buy or sell property for sure, and do really well with that. Now, Venus will also not just be in your 3rd house of siblings, aunts, uncles, and cousins, and she will move into your 4th house. And that's really like Venus, not in a sign she's happy in, which is Aries, but Jupiter's there kind of bonifying everything. So it looks kind of good for, I'd say, Venus there, January 26th to February, February 20th to the end of the month, that this is an ideal time for you to have some financial success regarding things to do with your home, or love in the home, or a woman coming to visit you in your home. Those are all possibilities. You're definitely looking at the possibility, though, for some of you, as this being a similar story that already started earlier. It could be like you're finally ready to rent a home, and this is the time where you find your ideal place that you and your partner love. Venus is, what do you love? Because Mars is in the house of leases and tenancies, and he is sextile to the 4th house Jupiter and then Venus at the last 10 days of February. I think some of you Capricorns may be looking at an opportunity for a new purchase, but also a new lease, a new rental, either that you're going to rent the home, or you may be renting out the home, right? Both sides apply. Or some kind of debt relief because of property and legacy matters, where you or your partner can relieve yourself of some financial debt. And all that seems to be picking up steam in the last 10 days of February. There is a bit of a chronology, so I'm going to do my best to go through it and not screw up like I did for the last sign, sorry, Sages, by focusing on my notes. So let me put my notes up on the table and get going. Number one, around the 4th and the 5th of February, Venus will square Mars, and Venus is the goddess of love, exalted in your third house, squaring Mars in the house of leases and property and tenancies. This is intense action-oriented things going on in the first week of February to do with pets, leases, property, debt, home, debt, real estate. Well, the real estate part is the leasing part, but the squaring is like the neighborhood. So you may be having some exciting but tense energies that are happening in your local area around where you live to do with property and leasing or pets and pet developments, for example, or some kind of travel plans that could actually have a bit of a problem in the first week of February because Mars is squaring. And so just maybe some kind of tension here. Yeah, I'm going to stick with that. And then moving forward into the future, we have this thing with the Mercury sextile Neptune on the 6th and the 7th of the month. And Mercury is marketing, mercantile, and he's still in Capricorn, but he's also about your decisions in your mind and the things you're thinking and saying and ideas that you have as well. So it's kind of very personal to you. And the sextile to Neptune in the third house, something to do with the idea of becoming more clear about something that might have been confusing regarding the word neighborhood or sibling or skills-based education or trips and travel. And you're able to make a clear decision around those matters around that time of the 6th and 7th of February. And then on the 7th and 8th of February, there's exciting developments in love and money kinds of stories with Venus sextiling Uranus. Okay, well, if you can get pregnant or your partner, this could be one of those things, unexpected pregnancy, but it could also be unexpected pregnancy of a sibling, uncle, niece, and nephew, or some exciting developments to do with money or love in the third house relative to your romantic fifth. So you're out in the neighborhood and you meet somebody at the grocery store and the sparks fly, or you suddenly realize that you're totally in love with your neighborhood and you don't want to move, or you suddenly realize that your sibling and you are going to take a trip for travel and fun and leisure, and it's so exciting. Some positive, exciting, unexpected developments in those areas of fifth and third house matters. Certainly a Venus sextiling Uranus in your fifth house. It definitely looks good, like for potentially having a lucky money break, but connected to the local environment usually. Like, you go to the bingo hall, or I don't know, go down to the street and buy a lottery ticket at the local shop or something like that. So you could have some financial breakthroughs financially, money breakthroughs here as well. And again, that's the 7th and 8th of February. Now, around the 10th of the month, Mercury will sit with Pluto in the house of you. I already told you that's your powerful decision-making time. And then around the Valentine's Day, the 14th to the 16th of the month, of Venus and Neptune combine for your dream neighborhood event, your romance. I think I touched on that, but if I didn't, it's like perfect time to go out with the one you love or to meet the one you love for the first time because you're out and about around Valentine's Day. And then on the same time frame on Valentine's Day, give or take a couple of days, Sun and Saturn co-join in your earnings house. This can be a defining moment for a financial sense of well-being regarding earnings and possessions, and a sense of being able to see the long haul way to be stable in your money from a position of leaderful energy that you're able to generate. If you are employed, this can be some financial upgrade for you, but also it may come with a sense of like you're beleaguered, like you've been trying to earn and save and be a master of your money for 3 years, because Saturn's been here since the first ingress, I think in March of 2020. And the sun is kind of trying to light things up here. And, typically the sun Saturn can mean a time of hardship for an elder person, for example, their solar light being squashed, but this is about your money. And so I kind of feel like it could be you coming to terms with some kind of new light shining energy on your idea of how to keep your finances stable in the next 30 years. That information or excitement comes to you around Valentine's Day regarding those money stories. And then later on around, did I talk about the 19th with Venus sextile Pluto yet? Venus, the goddess of money, sextiling Pluto. If I didn't, I'm just about to say it. Pluto's in the house of you, and Venus is sextiling from the house of your trips and travel and local neighborhood. It just could feel like a very strong moment in time around the 19th of the month where you feel very empowered by women that you know locally, or by your siblings or cousins, aunts, uncles, or a travel opportunity that's extremely enjoyable and dreamy and beautiful and involves a female, for example. And this could be a sense of real beautiful empowerment personally around that time of the 19th of February. Then there's a bit of tension with Mercury, and he's going to square Uranus February 21st to the 23rd. You could feel that the 20th to the 24th even. And Mercury, the messenger, is in Aquarius, and he's like dueling a bit with your fifth house. So it could be a bit of a monetary abrupt jolt financially, where your some unexpected development kind of takes you by surprise. I don't know, because it could be bad or it could be good, because there's a trine to Mars at the same time. So here's an example. You find the ideal place to rent, but they're surprisingly expensive, but you're going to do it anyway. You find the ideal love and romance person in your local neighborhood, and yet you are also, because it's Venus is there, but you're also shocked a bit by the cost of that, going out on that date. But you're going to move ahead and start dating that person anyway. This is Mars in your sixth house. It's so hard to make sense of that story, because it's both good and bad at the same time on February 21st to the 23rd. Mars is the one that says it's good. He's like, yeah, we're moving forward in. Okay, so here's another example for you guys. Could be a way to eliminate debt that's coming through your sky around the 21st to the 23rd of the month, but there's a bit of a surprise involved. That's Uranus. So yeah, maybe you win the lottery. I have to say, or maybe a woman wins the lottery and shares some money with you. Those are possibilities. So look to both a little surprising, but ultimately positive energy around finances, or trips and travel and romance, or dating and love. That's a lot of content to ponder. Let me know how that one goes. It's a bit of a jumble. Thank you, Capricorns, for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, check my description box. You're my last video of the day on January 22nd. I cannot keep recording. I need to go out and exercise. Ciao, ciao. Big hugs to all of you. And please, please, please like and subscribe. Thanks.